welcome to the Progress Report for the week of February 20th, 2020. I'm Alex Karbash. Here are the highlighted stories from this week's edition of the Eastern Progress. An EKU football player recently got into some serious legal trouble. Progress reporter Cherish Simpson has more.
On Monday, February 10th, Eastern Kentucky University football player Michael Harris was arrested for body slamming a police officer in Grove City, Ohio. The entire incident was caught on one of the officer's dash cams. Harris, who is 19, was arrested and charged with 2 counts of resisting arrest, misdemeanor, 2 counts of obstruction of official business, misdemeanor, 2 counts of persistent disorderly conduct while intoxicated, misdemeanor, and 3 counts of assault on a police officer, felony. He is currently being held in the Franklin County, Ohio jail. In an email statement to the Eastern Progress, Kevin Britton, the Assistant Athletics Director for Communications and Branding, said, "He has been suspended from all team and football-related activities at this time. When the facts are established and the investigation is complete, Eastern Kentucky University and EKU Athletics will decide how to move forward responsibly. We will have no further comment at this time." For the Progress Report, I'm Cherish Simpson.
The EKU men's and women's basketball teams picked up key victories last Thursday, February 13th, against in-state rival Morehead State. Nakia Mayberry has more on the Colonels' key OVC victories.
On February 13th, both EKU's women's and men's basketball teams traveled to Morehead, Kentucky to play in a doubleheader. Morehead State University is one of EKU's biggest rivalries. Being that this was a big game for both teams, EKU decided to provide a fan bus so students and local Colonel fans could go to the game. Some of the other athletes also decided to go cheer on the basketball teams. EKU's co-ed and all-girl cheer teams traveled down to support the Colonels. Both the women and men's basketball team won against Morehead. The women's gained their 10th win of the season, while the men's team won by 7, which made them 3rd in the OVC conference. Both the women's and men's basketball team will be playing Morehead again in a doubleheader on February 29th. This will be the Colonels' last home game of the season. For the Progress, I'm Nakia Mayberry.
A legendary Southeastern Kentucky high school basketball coach was honored with a gymnasium being named after him. Progress reporter Jacob Broadwell says fans and former players were there to celebrate his career accomplishments.
The Heber Dunaway Gymnasium dedication. Heber Dunaway was a legendary coach for the Lee County Bobcats at Lee County High School in Batesville, Kentucky. Coach Dunaway coached the Bobcats from 1966 to 1980 as the head ball coach and amassed 265 wins, the most in Lee County history. Dunaway led the Bobcats to 7 56 district championships and to 2 regional championships, along with a trip to the state semifinals in 1968. On February 17, 2020, the Lee County Board of Education decided it was time to rename the gymnasium after a legendary coach. A packed gym welcomed Coach Dunaway and members of the 1968 and 1973 regional championship teams for the dedication. Dunaway said, "If I'd known that they were going to name the gym for me, I would have asked for a whole lot more." And after former team members gave their speech, Coach Dunaway thanked the crowd for attending and said, 50 years from now, some player may look at a plaque or at the floor and it'll say Heber Dunaway Gymnasium, and they'll say that old feller must have been a pretty good coach, and that's good enough for me. For the Eastern Progress, I'm Jacob Broadwell.
In acknowledgement of Black History Month, I sat down with Richmond Mayor Robert Blythe to listen to his take on the importance of this historic month.
As we all know, February is Black History Month. This is a month to acknowledge and celebrate the achievements of African Americans throughout our country's deep history. Richmond Mayor Robert Blythe, who was the city's first black mayor, spoke with us to discuss the significance of this month and what it personally means to him.
Being the first African American mayor of the city of Richmond or anywhere is a tremendous honor.
In our sit down with Blythe, he discussed how important the position of mayor really is to him.
I was Richmond's first black commissioner. I said, I hope with opening that door, so to speak, someone else who is black and community minded would be willing, because this thing that we're doing is bigger than just orders and ordinances, codes. It's bigger than that. And we serve people.
He also touched on what he hopes the future of politics in Richmond will look like for African Americans.
I hope sometimes when I speak to kids and they see me, that they will aspire to public service, to open, so to speak, the door, and then have no one else to walk in.
Right.
I feel that I've failed. So I'm trying to encourage actually anybody who would run for office, but particularly, just because I am what I am, particularly African Americans also. And I do feel a great burden to shoulder in that I've got to encourage others.
Most people have heard of George Washington Carver as they associate him with his research on peanuts. However, Courtney Keys explores his accomplishments in his early life that many people are not aware of.
George Washington Carver was born near Diamond, Missouri in 1864. As an infant, he and his mother were kidnapped from the Carter farm by the band of slave raiders that roamed Missouri during the Civil War era. Moses Carver, a white farm owner who purchased George's mother when she was 13, sent his neighbor to retrieve them but was only successful in finding George. He became known as the plant doctor by local farms due to his ability to improve the health of their gardens and fields. At age 11, he attended an all-black school. However, he was disappointed in their education techniques and traveled to Kansas. He then graduated from Minneapolis High School, and after this, he continued his education at Iowa State University and became the first African American to earn a Bachelor of Science degree. For the Eastern Progress, I'm Courtney Keys.
For more stories like these, be sure to pick up a copy of the Eastern Progress or go to www.easternprogress.com. For the Progress Report, I'm Alex Karbash.